Hello, I'm Brad. Tonight I'm going to talk about some things, the spirit, the flesh, things that are very confusing for a lot of Christians. And I was a Christian for about 9 years, and this was a big problem back then. Back in the 80s and 90s, Christians didn't really know who they were. They think they're into the spirit now because they accepted Jesus Christ and things like that. But these little details make a big difference. I can sense it right away. As soon as somebody says one sentence about the flesh, I know who they are instantly. I know they're in the flesh. Okay, so I'm going to start with who we are. That's, how did God create us? Okay, God created everything in His image. Well, what's God's image? God's image is invisible, for one thing. The other thing is, it's invisible and there's no mass to it. There's no energy. There's no time involved. So, thoughts are the only thing that can exist in that nature. Thoughts are invisible. Because everything else part of man is physical that we see. The only thing that we can't see are thoughts. Because we all think. We all have thoughts coming into us. And where do we get them? Well, those are coming from God. They're the creation. That's what God created us as thoughts. A lot of people will argue with me over this. For what? How can you argue over thoughts? Everybody has to think. Jesus thought. Well, all His thoughts came directly from God. All the prophets talked about that, having the mind of Christ, having the mind of God. What does that mean? Does it mean that you get His brains? No! God doesn't have any brains. He's invisible. So it's thoughts that God created us as. Images in His thoughts. And these images are just, there's no definition. There's no, when there's nothing, nothing to see, there's no definition. It's just everything is in His thoughts. His whole creation is in His thoughts. And that's all it is. And somewhere we came, we're in there somewhere. Stacked on top of each other. But you know what? God is infinite. He's everywhere. He's in every single atom. He's under the rocks. He's behind the wall. He's everywhere. God exists everywhere. There isn't any place He doesn't exist. And we're created in that. You see? The first creation was light energy. Because He had these plans, He had all these thoughts and all these plans, He needed energy now to get time and to have mass. So light energy was His first creation. Now how did He do that? I don't know. He's God. He just thought it into existence. He can do that kind of stuff. Okay? You just don't question it. He created light energy. And from this light energy, He created everything else. Now this light energy is also known as the Word of God. The Word. Now they're just names. These are just names. They're really meaningless. They're just words to describe something. All the words in the Bible are only descriptive words to show us, nothing. We can't see it. So we have to use words to describe it. And we can use all kinds of things, all kinds of words, all kinds of stories and stuff to describe this God we can't see. So those people stuck in the Bible, like the King James Version, the American version. That's craziness. Because that is not God. That's just words in a book. Okay? They were spoken a long time ago. They were written a long time ago. They've been changed like crazy. Every translation changes the words of God. So that is no longer the Word of God. Never has been the Word of God. The Word of God was created. The first creation. Now this Word is invisible, but it contains all the thoughts of God. The Word became God in order to speak for God, in order for this energy to flow from God. Okay? So the Word is the power, the energy source to make it all happen, to create everything else, and then to form the physical world. And you need light energy to make atoms. Science even knows that. Of course, but they thought everything came from the Big Bang, so there's light energy, bam, right there. But no, that's it's possible light energy was just like that, but the rest of it, no, was spoken into existence. First, you had to create everything, and God's plan for all the tiny little atoms in every existing body, every world. He had the plan down to the nearest atom on everything. Can you imagine that? We think it's great to build the Eiffel Tower or the skyscrapers or some bridge across the water. We think that's great. But God, He planned all the atoms to exist in every world, in every body. So that's a major feat right there. Just a planet. And then this light energy created images with those plans within God's thoughts. We're always in God's thoughts. Now we're each one of us are an image in God. The heart, mind, and soul of a man. Okay? That's our conscience. This is who we are. And we're always in God. We're always thoughts. That's all we really are. We're the life. We're the truth in God. So we always exist there. But now the light energy formed atoms according to the image and the plan of God. You see how that works? So each one of us has a different body, different looking body. And why is that? Because God planned it all. He made you the way you are for this age. This age is going to be different compared to the future, because this is just a temporary age. Okay, but first let's get this image aside from our physical bodies. So we have to know that we were created in God to be, in His image. We are God. We're all God. We don't have this floating spirit that running around and comes in and out. And that's not how it works. We're everywhere. We exist everywhere. And now we just need a physical body to experience our thoughts. And that's what the atoms were all about. Now there are still bodies being formed in the wombs of women today. We were created probably trillions of years ago. Doesn't matter how long ago it was. Okay? It makes no difference. Because it's all in God. There's timeless. He's infinite. I'm going to stop here a second.